Angela Fazio is an industry powerhouse who has overseen 40,000 homes sold and $9 billion in production. And Kristen Cantrell is one of the nation's most accomplished team leaders, helping thousands of agents build their businesses. They are passionate about educating, encouraging, and empowering moms in real estate. Our next episode starts now.
Hey everyone, I'm Angela Fazio.
And I'm Kristen Cantrell. And today we get the pleasure of talking to Rozzie Taylor.
I'm particularly excited for this episode because we've gotten our first ever story that the Moms in Real Estate podcast actually encouraged her to get into real estate and get through real estate school. So Rozzie, we're so excited to talk to you today. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Yeah, thank you. I'm excited to be here. So I'm a mom of two, and when I was getting into real estate, I was a mom of one. I was pregnant, and so yeah, I've got two little ones. We live in Georgia. We have our fur baby, and we just dove into real estate, and now I'm here.
I forgot to ask you, how far away from Atlanta are you?
So like no traffic, 45 minutes.
Well, that's not far. That's not far. So you gotta tell our audience the cool story about you getting into real estate. How long ago has it been now? It hasn't been a year yet, right?
Nope. So like pandemic hit and I kind of started thinking about, what else can I do to help? I mean, luckily my husband never lost his job, their work continued to do well, but I just kind of wanted something else outside of being a mom. And I remembered a conversation my husband and I had back right before we had our first daughter about me getting into real estate. And I was like, yeah, but it's not really the time right now. And so with the pandemic, I kept thinking, what should I do? What should I do? And real estate came back to me. I remember that conversation and I was like, oh, okay, I could do that. And what do you do when you want to, try a new career? I went to Instagram and I found people for realtors, and I found this podcast, and I start on my morning walks. I would walk around the neighborhood pushing the stroller and walking my dog and listen to your podcast. And each day I kept hearing all these women who are so successful and empowering, and it really motivated me to get through real estate school and then continue to study and pass the exam.
That's awesome. I know. I love that story. It gives me goosebumps. And what's even better than that is when, so everyone goes into real estate. What do they do? I don't know what I'm supposed to do. So I write down goals.
Yeah.
Tell about that, because I think that's fantastic. It testifies.
Yeah. So my mentor had us, write down goals. And I was like, well, I don't know what I want to, I don't know what this is going to look like, but I knew one of my goals that I put down was going to be, I want to be on the Moms in Real Estate podcast. And I got your message, Angela. And I was like, what? She wants me on the podcast? I've been a realtor for 2 months and done nothing.
I love that.
But what's really inspiring is, a lot of women that we've talked to, get into real estate, exactly what you said, just to help out. What can I do to help out? I want to have something outside of just being a mom. Not that just being a mom is not enough, but you know what I mean? And then it morphs into something else. And what we always talk about is we love how real estate can change with different seasons in your life. In your season right now, it's going to look different down the road. And I think that that's what's so cool is you got into it just to help out, but it can morph into so much more as your kids get older. And what you didn't mention is that your kids are little, you have 2 in diapers, and you said you change 500 diapers a day. And I remember being there.
It feels like 500 a day, doesn't it?
I remember, I don't know if you remember this. I had a 1.5-year-old, a newborn, and I got a puppy at the same time. And one morning I came into work and I was like, I think I cleaned up 75 poops before I even left the house today. I really did. It was puppy poop, baby poop, toddler poop. I was like, this is crazy.
It's a lot of poop.
And they all poop at the same time.
Yeah. Oh yeah. So I was when I'd get to work, it would be this relief sometimes. I get a little bit of a break.
That's for sure. That's funny.
And you know what you mentioned that I was I could relate to that so much is you're in this phase with these little kids and this new career, and you feel guilty when you ask somebody to help out with your kids. And gosh, that was like so hard for me for so many years, where it's like, okay, like I am like, is this what's best? And yeah, you know what, it is, because if I was to stay home with my kids all day, I would have been, for me personally, a nightmare to be around, because I need that outlet.
Yes, you would be.
So I think that it gets better. I want to tell you, it is always a struggle. Like, it's still a struggle, but not near as much, because I really think that you being able to have that time for yourself can make you come home as a better mom.
Not only that, but I think it's good for your kids. Because,
that's what I mean.
I mean, not even just because she's a better mom, but your kids get to adapt to different personality styles, different situations. They become more adaptable, so that when they go into school, they don't freak out. Like they have these experiences that let them know that there's not just one place to be with one person all the time, or two people all the time.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And I would go, so after that class, I'd come back to pick her up, and she'd be crying because she didn't want to go home with me. She wanted to stay playing. So, I mean, I knew she was having fun, but just sending out like that initial text saying, hey, can you watch Rowan for this day, however many weeks? I was like, gosh, am I going to be a burden? I don't want to,
Oh, and the feeling of being a burden on somebody else too is like totally. But you know what? Like, if somebody offers help, take it. I learned that early on. Like, take it. And then be a blessing to somebody else when you can and help them. My neighbor has a 2-year-old and a 6-month-old, and her husband's a pilot. And I was like, she looked like she was going to lose her mind a couple weeks ago. And I was like, you go get a massage and I'm coming over.
Well, tell what she does. she says, she's over to your house.
Her husband will get home after being gone for a couple days, and like a couple weeks ago, she snuck out of the backyard, her backyard, and came to my house, and she's like, "Hi," like she wanted to have a drink, and then she texts her husband, "Hey, I had to leave for a little bit." And I was like, "I get it. I'm not judging you."
I think that's the best ever. I can't wait to meet your neighbor.
That's
you
so funny.
I have?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, meet her again.
I know.
So, Rozzie, tell us about the first. I think this is the part of your story that where it gets real for people. That can be so encouraging. Talk about your first, maybe like 5.5, 6 months in the business, and what you were doing and what you were experiencing, the thoughts you were having. Go through that a little bit.
So, you get your real estate license, and you're super excited to get going, and you let everyone know, and first month, I didn't expect anything right from the start. First month went by. I took that class. I was really motivated. And then, weeks kept going by. I was door knocking. I was posting faithfully on social media, sending out postcards, doing what you should be doing. And nothing was happening. And month after month kept going by. And I started thinking, am I just wasting my family's money, with the realtor fees? And even with just getting licensed, it can be pretty expensive. I'm like, did I just waste all of that money for nothing? And months kept going. I got in contact with someone who was at my old brokerage who had left to join EXP. And I was like, hey, I kind of know a little bit about EXP. Can you tell me, how are you liking it? And she did. And long story short, I'm on her team, and it's been great. But during that time, I kept, I'd pray every night, please let something happen, and nothing was happening. And I was like, what the heck is happening?
You're right.
Ask and ye shall receive, right? But it's a long process, and it can take a toll on you, but just keep doing it. And I really think now that I'm at this with EXP and with my team, I think a lot of it is starting to fall into place. I remember being out with some friends, and they were talking about everything's just falling into place. When it's right, everything just happens. And I'm like, well, geez, that's not happening for me. And I know that this was what I was supposed to do. But now that I'm on this team, things are happening. I feel good. I'm with the right people. I can just text her anytime with a question. And I didn't, not that I didn't feel that at my last brokerage, but I really needed my hand held. And that's what I'm getting here. And so, if it's not working, go and find the support that you need because it's out there.
We talk about that all the time. It's like not only the people that you surround yourself with, that is just so important, which is why we love EXP as well. It's the people that you surround yourself with, but like the support. For example, you can go somewhere and feel like you're on your own, but why would you do that to agents? Like we have the most robust training program from digital marketing and social media to real estate to sales skills, tools and resources. Why are people trying to refigure it out? Like, don't do that. You can find people to surround yourself with that can support you and help you get started, and it'll shorten the learning curve. So I'm glad that you're experiencing that. So tell everyone where you're at today. And it's just 6 or 7 months in, right?
Yep. So I now have 2 homes under contract, which literally happened, no joke, within 14 days of switching to EXP. And so, that same thing of everything starts to happen, where you're supposed to be. And I got a buyer under contract that just kind of fell into my lap. I was helping their niece and nephew get into a rental. And she's like, hey, my aunt's moving here. Can you help her buy a house? And I'm like, yeah.
Yes.
And so we got under contract on a house. And then actually a neighbor that I door knocked 3 months ago called me up and said, hey, thanks for telling me you switched brokerages. We're ready to sell. And just got their house under contract last Monday.
That's so exciting. And that feeling of being kind of not over the hump, because it's still hard, but over the hump of that self-doubt and that feeling like maybe this isn't for me. Wait, I know I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing. There was a girl that Kristen and I
know who you're going to say.
Sonia.
Oh,
Hernandez.
no.
Sonia Hernandez. Then you can tell whoever.
Okay.
There is this girl who worked with us, and she was she was doing everything she was supposed to be doing. She was listening to everything that was supposed to be doing. And she was like, nothing was happening. I said, do not quit. Do not quit. And it was about 6 or 7 months before it started rolling. And now she's a top producer. So you've got to have that grit, and you can't stop doing the actions that will get you the results in real estate. Who are you thinking of?
So when you're talking, I'm thinking if you guys go to our podcast and you go back to Cassie Hudson, I love her story because she worked so hard for a year and got one deal. Her
sale.
Second year, I think she did 19 or something. And it's like, it just kept going. And it's like, she had little kids at home too. And it does. Sometimes you're working so hard in this business and it's like, what am I doing this for? But if you just keep showing up consistently and doing the activities that you're committed to, it pays off.
You totally
see it
does.
Over and over, and you're at 7 months, and it's like, that's when it pops, and it usually takes about 6 months.
It does. Yeah. There are a few people
that
are running, but not very many.
Yeah.
I remember when I switched to EXP, I was, doing the onboarding and talking to her, and she goes, so have you done anything? I was like, no, I'm about 6 months in. And she goes, well, that's usually, when it starts to take off. And I'm sitting there, I'm like, well, I'm 6 months and I've got nothing going on. But then literally 2 weeks later, these, a past door knocking called me up, was ready to sell. And
which is also a really great thing to point out to a new agent, door knocking. Look at 3 months later, one door that she knocked called her. And and it's funny because she said, thanks for telling me you moved brokerages. You didn't even door knock about houses for sale. You literally told them that you moved brokerages. Literally, if you have a reason to reach out to somebody, reach out to them.
You're right.
They're probably like, what are you talking about? I didn't even know you were at Keller Williams and I or EXP. But you got in front of them, and that's the point. So kudos to you.
That's right. And it also should be an eye opener for anyone listening. You can door knock for 6 months. And just out of curiosity, what's the list price of that house?
So it was $350,000.
Okay, so let's just say you're getting 3%. What is that? $10,500. $10,500 for 6 months of door knocking. That's not bad. You know what I mean? And the funny thing is about any prospecting method, if you just compound it and keep going and compound it, now in 6 months you made say $10,500. Well, in a year, if you're still door knocking, that's going to compound. That's going to turn into, $57,000 or whatever it is. So that's the exciting part about real estate. You just have to keep doing it.
Yep.
So I was adamant. I told my husband when I was getting my license, I said, I am not going to door knock. That is not me. Like, you can't pay me enough money to get out there, but like, it does work. And
I
I
said the
the
same
whole way
thing.
I was walking there, I was like, you need to go home. You know, this is dumb. This is stupid. Just turn around and go home, figure out something else. But I made myself go, and they were like the third house I knocked on. So
That's awesome. And that's the truth too. So I love how transparent you're being. It's okay if your thinking is your stinking thinking gets in the way a little bit of like how you're feeling about it, but don't let it get in the way of your actions.
exactly.
So anyway, that's an awesome story.
Yeah, we really appreciate you sharing that with us. And I know you're going to inspire somebody else out there that's looking to get into real estate.
That's right. Okay.
Yeah.
So a couple of things. Don't get off, Rozzie, when we get off.
Okay.
But a couple of things, guys. Kristen and I are starting today, actually, the first episode of Girl Educate Yourself Conversations. It's every first and third Thursday. It's a Zoom call, and it's Girl Educate Yourself style talk in the beginning, but then we get to interact with each other. Maybe ask questions or add knowledge. And I think it's going to be, well, lots of you asked for it, so that's why we're doing it. But I'm going to put in the comments, I'm going to post the Zoom link. So it's the first and third Thursday, and that would be 11 o'clock at the moment, 11 o'clock Pacific time that it starts, and it won't go over an hour. So ladies, if you want to join us for that, you are welcome. And then you want to tell about Flourish in November?
Yes. So on November 4th and 5th, we are doing our second Flourish event. And if you guys missed it, it was amazing. We bring in just some strong business women to come in and encourage and inspire you and speak. And then we also bring amazing women from the real estate community to come in and inspire and speak to you. It's a 2-day event. What me and Angela are working on now is creating like these really fun excursions to do together. And we have goat yoga, we have cycling, we have axe throwing, we have, dinner parties. We have all this stuff so that all these moms in real estate can get together and build relationships. So can't wait. It's going to be so much fun.
I know. Okay, you already inspired somebody. I'm going to show the comment.
Oh,
Awesome.
Nice. I'm so excited. Well, thank you all for watching. Thank you, Rozzie, for being a wonderful guest. God bless you guys. We'll see you soon.
Bye.
bye.